Welcome everyone to another episode of What's in the Box. I'm your host GQ, here with yet another unboxing for your viewing pleasure. So let's get right to it. You guys should already know by now, it's something from Hot Toys, Sideshow Collectibles. Seriously, you guys really need to start sending me this stuff because I'm doing quite a few unboxings and it's getting expensive. So, see what we've got this time around. Like I said, I had put an order in for another one of these Hot Toys pieces out of their movie masterpiece series. As you guys can see behind me, definitely a avid collector of Sideshow and Hot Toys. Definitely like what they've been putting out over the years. Been pleased with every single thing that I've gotten so far. Can't really say that they've let me down. Their quality is top notch. So, gonna go ahead and get this next piece open, the latest addition to the ever-growing collection. So go ahead and slide this one out here. Oh, well, I get to see what it is before you guys do, but for those of you that know me, you probably have a pretty good idea of what this is about to be. You already see, I'm pretty sure, an Avengers logo. Albeit maybe upside down for you, maybe not. And let's see here. Get this plastic out of the way. And I gotta say, this one, just from the box alone, is already looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and stand this up. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around so you all can see the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, from Avengers Infinity War. As soon as I saw the prototype on this one, I was excited. So obviously they've got Thanos right there on the front. The design keeps going around. Got a little bit of an Infinity Gauntlet there. I've said it a few times wrong before, but this is just some information about the figure. It's not necessarily the list of people that put it together. And of course the artwork continues around here with another Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this outer sleeve off of here. And of course on the inner sleeve, now to get it right, you probably saw a quick shot of him in the little window. We're gonna obviously get some close-ups. But here's the information of the cast and crew, as they say, of who put this figure together, who's responsible. So I mean, obviously, Sideshow's been doing a lot of work with Marvel. Obviously, with all the MCU movies that have come out, Marvel and Disney have given them no shortage of figures to create from all the various MCU movies that have come out over the past 11 years. And so far, every single one that I've got, I've been pleased with. Have not had any complaints or real issues or problems. Now, I'll go ahead and get him out of his box here so we can take a look at him. And as to be expected, he is huge. He's a big boy, Thanos is. A little bit of trouble here. Let's not obviously do any damage to the box. Because as real collectors know, that's where a lot of the value is if you have a nice intact box. That's why you're sticking. You got a little bit of tape on the back. We'll get that taken care of in a moment. Apparently holding in some instruction booklets and other things. So go ahead and sit you here. Holding in that massive diorama that recreates one of my favorite scenes from the Avengers movie. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil that right off the bat. Obviously I'll get it put together and some pictures taken of what I'm talking about, but anybody that's seen Infinity War and knows my personality, you know what one of my favorite scenes in that movie was regarding Thanos. I'll just leave it at that. So, let me get that box out of the way. Oh man, this dude is huge. He's actually bigger than his Guardians of the Galaxy version that came out right around the same time as that movie did, or about a year after. And obviously I have that one up there as well, so might do some side-by-side comparisons just to show how much of a difference between the two. Main reason being for the difference was, of course, anybody that's seen Guardians of the Galaxy know that that's when Josh Brolin officially got the role. That's also when, for the first time, we had any on-screen speech from Thanos. Obviously in Avengers, he just kind of turned his head and smiled. And then by the time Guardians of the Galaxy came around, they had cast Josh Brolin as Thanos. But those of you know that he never did anything outside of sitting in his throne in that film, so they really didn't have any true scale for how big he actually was going to be. So enough talk from me. We're gonna go ahead and get him out of the box here. And as Sideshow always does, they do a great job protecting their paint. He's got plastic around any bendable joint areas for his massive boots and feet here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that peeled away. And they also protect his wrist area, just to make sure that there's no damage that occurs during shipping, which I completely appreciate. Like I said, Sideshow is kind of second to none when it comes to the way they deal with their products and what they send out, and as far as taking care of what you get. And thankfully I haven't had any issues with anything that I purchased from them, so that's a big plus. But we're gonna go ahead and get this plastic moved out of the way here. Gotta love static electricity. Get that head off. The head sculpt is amazing. Obviously, you guys know me by now. I will definitely get some close-ups of the Mad Titan so you guys can see what I'm seeing and get a better idea of how good this thing looks up close. But he's amazingly well put together. The musculature is awesome. The Infinity Gauntlet. He's got posable fingers on this one, and believe it or not, he comes with a second left arm, complete with the clenched fist. So obviously, you know, that's representation of the gauntlet in use. We'll obviously get a couple of different switched out shots, and he comes with a separate, as they call it, portrait. So instead of just his kind of stern look there, you've also got, as Mrs. Potato Head calls it, his angry eyes, or his angry face, angry look. Some might even call it a look of distress. Obviously I'll get some close-ups of that, but I just call it he's a Mad Titan, so he's mad right at this point. Not only that, he also comes with additional hands, as they often give you, your choice of hands. So if you don't want him to look really bland while he's posing, give you a couple of different options as to where his hands. Now, of course, since he has the Infinity Gauntlet, his left hand is all Infinity Gauntlet. Right hand is a little small kind of grasping motion, reaching forward, reaching out. The other one is just a standard open hand stance, or you have the clenched fist. So depending on how you want him to look, depending on what kind of style you want Thanos to be posed in, those are your choices. So again, massive figure. I mean, he's, from what I understand, 16 inches tall at least. The clothing looks amazing. I call this his casual killer look. Got the little slacks on, which is, I always thought that was actually kind of cool. That the first thing he did is he beat up Thor and the Asgardians and took his armor off, then it just basically had his casual gear underneath and went around collecting the stone. So I always thought that was actually kind of cool that they did that. As far as articulation, he does of course still have articulation in this look. The other arm is a clenched fist, and I believe, yep, that's its main function, to be a clenched fist. It's not supposed to be an additional bunch of posing and all that other sort of thing out of that one. Of course, his left arm, upwards movement, just like normal. Not a lot of shoulder movement there, just kind of your basic, there you go. You do get shoulder movement, but you have to move his arms just a little bit to get it. I honestly don't like putting a lot of action-y poses to my figures. I usually like just giving them kind of some very cool standing pose in most cases. That's kind of the style I like to go for. So you're not going to see Thanos, you know, dabbing or doing anything crazy like that. My Thanos will probably be in a action pose with the gauntlet glowing. So we're gonna obviously get some close-ups of everything because again, the Mad Titan deserves all of those close-ups. You're also going to get some comparisons with him and the Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos, so you can get an idea of just how much bigger he is than the Guardians of the Galaxy one that came out a few years ago. So again, I am GQ. This has been What's in the Box. Make sure you log into Culture Junkies on our Facebook, our YouTube. We've always got a lot of things going on there. We've always got a lot of things going on in our Facebook group. We talk about everything under the sun, whether it be video games, movies, anime, collectibles. We basically cover it all. So make sure you check that out. Also tune into our Wednesday night live podcast. Well, live show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's on video, so I call it a live show where we discuss, again, everything pop culture related. So make sure you tune in. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So depending on what time zone you're in, you're gonna have to make your whatever adjustments it is to tune in at that time. But obviously you can catch the replays on YouTube as well as Twitch. So check us out, search for Culture Junkies on Facebook, join our Facebook group. Make sure you get in and join in on the fun because it's always a blast at Culture Junkies. So again, for What's in the Box, I'm your host GQ, and they didn't put this line in the movie, but I think they should have. Fun isn't something one considers when unboxing their hot toys, but this does put a smile on my face. See you guys next time. Culture Junkies!